on this computer so that we all have the possibility to look through it again after any time that we need to. The recording started and we are ready for the very first position, and that is the Chief Marshal. Are you all able to see the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
right. Here we go. We start. So what are the requirements for an efficient marshal? We can call the Chief Marshal is actually an older version. The Chief Marshal was supposed to be the one who is regulating the cards, and the name or the title comes from the time before the computers. Now we can only say Marshal table and assistant marshal. It doesn't have to be a Chief Marshal. And in Masters Weightlifting, we usually do rotation. That once you do the computer and the other times you do the cards. Whatever is, you know, a marshal's team can work that out anyhow it fits them. But what is needed? Basic English language, because it's international masters competitions, the knowledge of the rules and regulations, to have skills. That means a newcomer would be overwhelmed by this. So it's not good for newcomers. It's better for technical officials who have been officiating maybe in other positions and then can then start as assistant marshal. So to get into this slowly. Be assertive, be attentive at all times. It needs full concentration. And of course, it needs to be cooperative and calm behavior among the colleagues, but also, especially when all the people, coaches, or even the athletes themselves come in the last second to make some changes. So you need to stay calm and focused. So what we have here, this is the athlete's card. At the IMWA World Championships, the total weight of the starting attempts declared and actually taking in the snatch and the clean and jerk must equal or exceed 80% of the weight of the verified entry total. We looked into this yesterday. What is the 80% rule? No? So before the competition starts, please recalculate again the declared snatch and clean and jerk total that the athlete has given it away in. It has to be not less than actually the start total that is on the card. And you can see an example here. You can see here that the athlete has declared 49 and 60, 49 in the snatch and 60. And you can also see that in a clean and jerk, then the athlete went even 1 kilo up in the very first attempt. So the first attempts that are declared in a weigh-in cannot really be adjusted. That means that if an athlete comes and declared like 49 here in a snatch and then 60 in the clean and jerk, and this has been the minimum of qualification needed, and also the 80% rule is implemented. That means the athlete cannot go lower, can go differently, can go, let's say, like 48 in the snatch, but then it has to start, the very first, it has to start at least 61 then in the clean and jerk. That's the only thing that can be changed, but cannot go lower than has been declared when it is already at the minimum qualification needed. The clean and jerk first declared attempt cannot be readjusted to go down if the start total goes below the 80% of the athlete's best total registered. So always make sure that this is correct. even if more weights were successfully lifted in the snatch session, that means the second or the third lift, it doesn't matter. These don't count. It's the first snatch and the first clean and jerk that counts. On the table of the Marshal among the cards, it will be helpful to have a red pen and a black pen for the Marshals, and then also a red marker and a blue pen for the coaches. That would be the easiest, to have this difference, so that you know what the coaches write and what you write. Here you have an example of the athlete's card. You can see that changes, everything is in black. That is something of the declaration. And it can be signed by the coach with what you have written in black. But when the coach comes and does a declaration, then it's best to have it in a different color, and blue would be then the most appropriate. I will make this easier for me because I don't know where I am here. Sorry, give me a second. Whoop, I'm in the beginning again. Okay. Right, here we are. What are the basic Chief Marshal's duty when dealing with the athlete's card? Please accept or refuse the modification by the coaches on the attempt to be taken based on the following rules. When dealing with Marshal's computer to communicate any changes made on the athlete's card, it has to be done immediately. You also have to look at the clock, make sure that it is within the first 30 seconds that coaches come and do their changes. Otherwise, you have to refuse. Right? That is something, it's up to you. But if the coach has come in within the first 30 seconds, let's say the last 2 seconds before the first 30 seconds finished, and you are still doing other things, like putting other things in the computer from other lifters, it is then normal that in the competition area, it looks like the 30 seconds have been passed way too much. Only 20 seconds left when the changes come through. For the Marshal table, it is normal, but it looks weird in the competition area. So you are the only one who can determine if the coach has come and made the changes really on time. And it is okay for the Marshal, when you're dealing with other changes as well, that there might be delays to get it through. Yeah. You need to communicate the new information as fast as possible to the competition management system about any request attempts. In case of general electricity failure or error, when the competition cannot be stopped electronically, the technical controller must be called to be the manual communicator to the competition IT manager and also to the speaker. For the Marshal's table, the most important tool and skill to know is the calling order. You must consider always the weight of the barbell from the lightest weight first, then the number of the attempt of the athlete, which is always the lowest number first, and that determines the athlete, which athlete goes out first. So the sequence and order of the previous attempt, the athletes who lifted earliest will be first. And this is when we have the same weight on the barbell and numerous athletes take the same weight. And then you look at the start number of the athlete, the lowest number always goes first. The weight is never added for one athlete and then taken off for the next athlete. And therefore the weight on the bar always goes up. The Chief Marshal supervises the declarations and changes of the request made by the athletes or coaches for each attempt. The declarations and changes are immediately communicated through the laptop on the Marshal's table to the competition management. The competition management system shares directly the new information on a laptop in front of the speaker, who will do the appropriate announcement. And of course, any changes done on the Chief Marshal's computer will automatically be spread to the score board and the jury laptop as well. And then what you can see in the warm-up area, the number of attempts are changing, which is the most important information for the coaches in the warm-up area to recalculate how many lifts before his or her athlete needs to go out. Always keep an eye on the sequence and the clock at your table, as I already mentioned before. And to determine that the athlete's card will not be just taken from coaches and written all over, make sure that whenever one lift has been done, that you finish with 2 stripes in red, whatever is left from that column of the attempt. So here we are, what a marshal needs to know for the 30-second slot. And when it runs out to enter new declaration, please check the clock on your table, as I mentioned before. This is a system that we have been working with here. This is the American system of Les Simonton. When you click on the name to make a change, if a change has come in on the athlete's card, then the Chief Marshal clicks on the computer and actually an athlete's card appears, and you can make the changes. This is just an example of change. As I said, you click the name, then this athlete's card appear, and then the question comes. And the question comes because you are the one to determine if the 30 seconds time slot has been okay for the coaches or has not been okay. You decide if you accept or you refuse the requested changes. So you always have to look at the clock. And as I mentioned before, the coach can be on time, but because you are doing other changes, also that it can be that it takes you a few seconds to get to his name to change that. The coach must declare the next way on his or her athlete's card within the first 30 seconds of the 1 minute, even if it is the automatic increment. Otherwise, the athlete has to accept the weight shown by competition management system. Here you have an example. The timing apparatus will sound 1 minute. You hear the sound at the last 30 seconds. And be fully aware here, the automatic increment applies in the following: 1 kilo up after the good lift in the previous attempt, or same weight after the no lift in the previous attempt. If an athlete follows himself, he is allowed 2 minutes, and the coach must declare the next way to the marshals within the first 30 seconds of the 2 minutes. We're talking about the declaration, not changes, okay? And even if it is the automatic increment, because otherwise the athlete has to accept the weight shown by competition management system. Here you have the important, the time apparatus will sound 2 times at the first 30 seconds and at the last 30 seconds. Now, if a coach declared, they can change the weight 2 times. First declaration, and then 2 changes are allowed. And it has to be until the last 30 seconds. So we have an example here. Succeeded with 100 kilo in the first attempt. Then 101 kilo is the automatic increment. The coach came to change to 105 kilo for the second attempt. And coach came to change for the second change 107 kilo for the second attempt still. And when the last 30 seconds start, no changes can be made. Here we give an example again. The athlete succeeded 100 kilo at the first attempt, and they want to take 101 kilo for the second attempt. It is not necessary then for the coach or athlete to declare 101 kilo on the athlete's card, if that is the automatically increment anyway. So there's no need to come and sign the athlete's card. If there's no declaration made within the first 30 seconds, the athlete must take the automatic increment. So if they come and want to make changes, they decided very late, well, it's too late then. The 101 kilo automatic increment can only be taken. What if we have an athlete who withdraws from the competition before the athlete's session ends? You click on the name of the athlete. You can see the athlete's card popping up, and then you also have on the athlete's card, you can see on the right a button that you need to click on, withdraw. And then it automatically shows also on the scoreboard and in the speakers table everywhere that this athlete has withdrawn from all the other attempts. The same thing has to be done though for the clean and jerk. It doesn't go automatically for all the competition of the athlete. Here you need to be very careful. Check and compare the declaration on the athlete's cards with the scoreboard to ensure that the information are really matching. It's good time to time to see if, especially when it's a big session and lots of changes coming in, once in a while when it is a bit calmer, look with your assistant colleague through based on the scoreboard and what you have in front of you on your laptop, and also the athlete's card. Are they all matching? Here we have an example of, let's say, 4 athletes. They all start with the same weight, with 150 kilo in the first attempt. Here you need to check for the athlete's first attempt, 150 kilo. Then you need to check the start number. Who will go first? Check the previous lowest weight lifted, and then check and remain in the 30-second slot. So we have here start number 1, start number 2, start number 3 and 4. The automatic increment is 151 because they all made a good lift in the 150 kilo first attempt. Number 1 and number 3 are declaring 155 kilo for the second attempt. Number 2 and number 4, 160 kilogram. So, Yoma left us and is coming back. So what happened here is that the speaker has called up the name and all the information. The clock started for athlete number 2. And then number 3 is coming and wants to go down to 155. Of course, then the chief marshal must deny it because the sequence now no, sorry, number 3. And number 2 did the 160. So number 3 is allowed to do the 155 before number 2, because they declared first 160, and there is no time to go down to 155 after the clock of the lifter who has been announced started. And then number 4 is also going for 160. The chief marshal must check the change is valid or not by checking the athlete's attempt. Calling order rule must be respected. And when there are too many coaches on your table making changes, you need to go by the sequence. Okay, so make sure that the coach with the lifter who is going next will be taken care of first. Even though the request of changes follow the calling order, the IWF technical rules and regulations has been applied for the deadline of decreasing. It means the time clock. In order to decrease the weight, the clock must not have started for the athlete. Here is the summary when decreasing is okay still and when it is not okay anymore. The next athlete hasn't been called yet. Changes can still happen at the marshal's table. The athlete has been called, but the clock has not been started yet. Changes can still happen at the marshal's table. The athlete has been called, the clock has been started, but athlete is not on the stage. But here, no more changes, because the clock started. Then the athlete has been called, the athlete is on the stage, but the clock hasn't been started yet because loaders are still on the platform. That means changes can still happen at the marshal's table. Why? The clock hasn't started yet. The athlete has been called, the clock started, athlete is on the stage, no more changes possible. When many coaches come to the table at the same time, please remain calm and make sure that you go by the sequence, who would be the next athlete, and you try to serve the number. You look at the start number on the athlete's card. What is the coaching writing, or what has the coach declared or written on this athlete card? And you try to get that in the system as soon as possible. No need to take care who came first on the table. The athlete's card's scoreboard screen in case a mistake has been entered. That happens when it's too busy and whatever, or a coach has picked up the wrong card. Now, in masters weightlifting, we don't have a minimum of only 2 athletes per nation. It can be far more, and it can become very crowdy and also very confusing for both coaches, athlete, and the marshal's table. So it's always advisable to tell the appropriate coach or the athlete, if he does not have a coach, to remember the start number of his or her athlete. Always remember the start number, not the names. To transfer the information may not be recorded correctly. Compare the weights on the cards and scoreboard screen from time to time, as we said before. If any corrections are required, contact the competition manager system operator immediately for assistance. Always remember, Chief Marshal must look at the timing clock when coaches of called athlete come to declare increased weight. A normal 1-minute attempt. Everything must be done within the first 30 seconds, and we have successive attempts. That means 2 minutes. Declaration for the next attempt within the first 30 seconds. Change of the weight before the last 30 seconds, and will be available only if the coach athlete declared the next weight within the first 30 seconds. In adaptive weightlifting, as we have seen yesterday, the adaptive lifters have 3 minutes. So the first 30 seconds go, and the last 30 seconds go of the 3 minutes. Okay, it's just if it is, they always have the first 30 seconds and the last 30 seconds of 3 minutes for each attempt that they are allowed to. Yeah. Now, tips to stay calm. Prepare your own red and black pens. Concentrate always on the current weight of the barbell, announcement, and also the timing clock. Compare weights on the cards and scoreboard. Monitor from time to time. Here I suggest don't put a black pen, but put a blue pen on the next athlete's card to be ready for quick changes. That makes sure that you are visibly seeing the difference of what you wrote and what coaches or athletes wrote. Be prepared for possible decreasing as much as possible as they are allowed. And that is the end of the Chief Marshal. Do you have any questions? It's quiet. Okay, I see there's no questions at all. Yoma is having difficulties to be with us, as I understand. Okay, I just prepared for the next one. Okay, since there are no questions, I suggest we go to the technical controller, and then we have at last the athlete's outfit. So I share my screen. There you go. Okay. Technical controller. Are you all able to see the PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Someone confirm?
Yes,
Super.
thank you. Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Well, technical controllers need to stand for quite some time. And in order to be the most comfortable by standing or walking around is to wear the most comfortable shoes that you can wear. In masters weightlifting, we somehow follow the uniform or the dress code, the uniform code like the IWF. But when it comes to shoes, we prefer you to have comfortable shoes and maybe in any color, if you wish in pink, as long as you are comfortable. It's the most important. And when you look at the TO sign-up sheet, the technical controller position is the one that doesn't fill up easy because it's a lot of standing. Okay. So be well equipped with good shoes and a measurement tape. A technical controller must be equipped with a handy measure tape to check the sizes of belts if needed. Now, I received information, but it is not confirmed yet that the IWF technical committee are thinking to change this rule and to allow any size of belt, but it must be worn outside, not from the inside. Any possible technical changes, I guess it will come from the IWF World Championship in China in October, and we will be informed after. So, but for now, we follow what are the technical rules. Oops. A technical controller is the bridge between the jury president and also need to assist the competition director if needed. The technical controller must be active and needs the full knowledge of the technical rules and regulations and the master's rules, of course, and must be able to maintain order. It's a very, very responsible position, just like the chief marshal. This is the warm-up area from 2023 at the World Masters in Poland, which was a bit outside of the competition area. So athletes had to walk to get into the area where the chief marshal's table were, and then to go to the competition platforms. And it's very, very difficult for a technical controller when the warm-up area is very separate or from a distance of the competition area. In that case, we need at least 2 technical controllers to make sure that things are running in the right directions. Now that we are also using multiple and triple competition platforms, we must ensure that the correct lifter goes to the correct competition platform. Also, it's extremely difficult for a technical controller to ensure that only authorized people can go into the warm-up area. Of course, that helps when organizers provide warm-up passes. You need to check the equipment before the competition. On the competition platform, are the plates, bars, collars, magnesium, rosin, is anything missing? Are they clean? Is it enough? As we go from the oldest age to the youngest age, we need more weights, of course. And it is good for the organizers to provide maybe another 15 and another 20 kilo barbell for, changing in the middle of the week, to ensure that after using the competition barbell for so many attempts and lifts, that is still in good quality. Is the stage safe? Are any nails, stables, gaps, or whatever on the podium, if there is a podium? Or, if it is on the floor, on the all area around the competition platform? Is there any cleaning supplies for the barbell, the platform equipment like brushes, mops, disinfectants? Is the venue clean? The warm-up area, not too much garbage. We need to consider the live streaming that doesn't look like a chaotic zoo. Monitors in warm-up area, are they switched on? Are they okay? Are they working? Do the referees, do they have the red and white board or white flags? If any of this is missing, please report to the jury president or the competition director, the organizer, to take care of this as soon as possible. Here are also the main duties of the technical controller. Please ensure that all on-duty TOs wear the correct uniform. Manage and control the athlete and technical officials' presentation. Inspect athlete's outfit and correct when necessary. Ensures that only authorized coaches accompany athletes in the warm-up area. Monitors the lifting order and ensures correct athletes according to the announcement goes on the stage. And that is when the competition starts, you need to be closer to the competition platform and at eyesight with the attempt board. The attempt board gives the name of the athletes, the attempts, the number of the attempts, the kilos on the weight, and so on, and actually also the start number. Controls cleaning of the barbell and the platform, ensures athlete safety, especially in case of injury. And at the end, assists the victory ceremony preparation. Here we are. The technical controller prepares and guides athletes to their presentation at the competition platform. So the TC must control and supervise the introduction, check the inside warm-up room, the Marshal's table and the Marshal documents, are they all there? Preparation of the athlete's introduction based on the start number list, to line them up based on the start number list that you receive on the protocol sheet of the session. When the athletes finish and go off the platform, the 10 minutes will start, and then the preparation of the technical official introduction goes on. inside the warm-up area. Then you need to bring the TOs on the competition platform for presentation. The speaker calls up first center referee, side referee left, side referee right, chief marshal, timekeeper, technical controller, and doctor on duty. Then you go back, the competition starts, and at the end, gathering and guiding athletes and medal presenter on the podium for the victory ceremony, and also make sure, based on the official documents, that the right athletes go on the medal ceremony. Here you have a presentation. The TC ensures all on-duty TOs wear the correct uniform before they go on stage for the presentation. The TC inspects the athlete's outfit and correct when necessary. If an athlete wears a full body unitard, then the TC cannot see everything. By female athletes, a female TO may check for underneath belt or tape on elbows. And by male athlete, a male TO may check for underneath belt or tape on elbows. The athletes may wear any of the following for the competition. We will go to that later. At the end of this presentation, we go to the athlete's outfit. So I will leave this for later. We go now to the attempt board, as I mentioned before. The TC monitors the attempt board to ensure that the correct athlete goes on the competition platform. You need to listen to the announcement, look at the attempt board, observe the scoreboard monitor from time to time to expect which athletes will be called soon. We are not using beep numbers, but we are using the start numbers on the attempt board. And that also is in line with the scoreboard. The TC inspects athletes' outfit and correct when necessary. So the clock will not stop for athletes to lift in the appropriate outfit. You must inspect the outfits before the snatch, before the clean and jerk, and during the competition in the warm-up area. If the warning is early, they have enough time to change. Never go up on the platform to give a warning when an athlete has passed you and is already on the competition platform. Okay, it looks ugly, it is not okay, and we need to be more alert when in the next attempt. What is not permitted on the competition platform is a loose long sleeve shirt, no elbow tapes, inside, outside, 5 centimeters above and 5 centimeters below. Make sure that the right outfit underneath a singlet or a costume, as we call it, that it doesn't have any stripes or whatever, or patterns. For now, it's still the 12 centimeter belt, not bigger, and that the athlete is not using any devices on the competition platform, in the ear or maybe on the upper arm, or yeah. We already had yesterday the thing regarding the watch. So far, watches are allowed, and it's not defined that if a watch is a device or not. So watches are allowed still. When you control the competition, athletes are, of course, the most important consideration. How to allow athletes to concentrate. And if you don't disturb the athlete's concentration, athletes might make a good result in his or her level. If there are many good results, competition will end in a big success. Athletes may go up on the stage once they are called. Ensure the correct athlete, according to the speaker's announcement, goes on the competition platform stage, even during the loading of the barbell. Make athletes comfortable, don't disturb them. You must stop athletes if they're going on the stage before they are called. Right? So that's very important. It might be the wrong athlete. Technical controllers are not the police. So there is a right way and there's a wrong way to stop an athlete for whatever reason. TC must avoid touching the athlete, use words, gestures, and eye contact for communication only if absolutely needed. Touching athletes can also disturb their concentration, or it has sometimes to do with culture, whatever the reason is, and especially just before the attempts. So try not to touch them. If you need to communicate anything, go to the coach. Even if you must stop athletes going up on the stage for some good reasons, use cooperative methods. Try to stop them by using words, gesture, and eye contact. And if it is possible, if there is a coach, go to the coach rather than the athlete. It will be easier for you to imagine yourself as the coach, as the athlete, as a member of the audience, how it will look. So it will be easier for you to identify the problems and to solve the problems, or to have 2 technical controllers per platform, which is very difficult for us to find. If we are lucky, we can do that. That depends on how many will sign up as technical controller. The technical controller shows the coaches to at what point nearest to the competition platform they are allowed to stay, and then also verbally guide or watch their own athletes lift. The technical controller keeps an eye on the competition area and communicates with the loaders for cleaning of the barbell if needed. What we usually do, and I said that yesterday already, we always communicate usually with the loaders to clean the competition platform and the barbell after 20 to 30, maximum 30 lifts each time. Talk with loaders in advance. Never touch injured athletes until directed by competition doctor. Loaders are nice to hide injured athletes during doctor's quick examination on the stage, either with a banner or by standing next to each other to build a wall. And why? Because there's live streaming or anything else. There's no need to make pictures or let the live streaming see any drama or whatsoever. The TC must ensure athlete safety. Technical controllers must stop coaches from going up on the stage when athletes suffer injuries. Only the competition doctor can touch the athletes in case of injury, and the juror will stop all actions until the competition doctor finishes the examination on the platform, and of course, when the athlete is then walked down or taken down away from the competition platform. Only by the order of the competition doctor, TOs, team officials, that means coaches, can help injured athletes. TC assists the victory ceremony preparation. Check the official results and find who are the medalists. Assemble the medalist and medal presenter. And then you may need to wait for the athletes for a while for the doping control procedure. But that doesn't mean that that athletes who are selected for doping control will go first to doping control and then come for the medal ceremony. No, the doping control procedure after the lifting is that the doping control officers who have selected an athlete, they will approach him and they make him sign the document. And then after the medal ceremony, they will go for the doping control procedure, the remaining. Please make sure medal winners cannot take electronic devices onto the podium, no mobile phones or other devices. Medal winners cannot be accompanied by any other persons. Participants of victory ceremony must not use it for political, racial, or religious demonstration. And photos can be taken after the end of the victory ceremony. And here I also want to say that if a technical controller sees an athlete, a coach, anybody in a warm-up area and in the field of play, the competition field of play, with inappropriate wordings on a t-shirt and clothes, then the technical controller should go to that person and kindly ask to take that t-shirt off, to wear something else. The competition field of play and the warm-up area, appropriate clothing is allowed, not inappropriate. So always make sure that this is okay. Good to know is that the IMWA does not use athletes' challenge cards, and therefore there is no video replay. But always be ready for something unusual. Now, when you stay besides the platform, the competition platform, as a TC, keep eye contact with the jury. Have a look at the jury table after each attempt. Maybe it's a reversal of the decision, maybe the bar needs cleaning, an outfit issue that you have not noticed, but they have. Jury may stop the competition. When jury president is looking at other members, left and right, seriously, the jury may stop the competition. When jury reverses the decision, mostly you will be called to the jury table and asked to deliver the information to the IT operator, the speaker, and of course, the relevant athlete and coach. Cooperate with your colleague technical controller if we have two. When competition is stopped and you are called by the jury, ask your colleague to come nearby the stage, not to allow any athletes to go up on the stage meanwhile. That happens as well. And we have come to the end of the technical controller.
Denise, I just have a couple of quick questions, if that's all right.
Yes.
Yeah. The first one is about thumb tape. Are you using the same rules for thumb tape as the
Yes.
IWF competitions?
Yes, we will come to that for the athlete's outfit now.
Okay, perfect. And then the second one is, countries seem to vary when they're cleaning the bar as to whether they take the bar to the back of the stage or the front of the stage. What's your policy?
The backstage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
To roll the barbell towards the back of the stage to clean it and then put it back on the competition platform, not to the front.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions maybe? Or remark, or maybe you want to share an experience? It's quiet. Okay, then maybe we are ready for the athlete's outfit. Are you all able to see this? Can someone verify?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay. So what we have here, the athletes must wear the basics, a weightlifting costume, singlet, and sport footwear. It doesn't have to be weightlifting shoes, but it must be sport footwear. Athletes may wear any of the following. They may wear a unitard, t-shirt, shorts, socks, belt, bandages, sticking plaster, tapes. They may wear gloves, palm guards, undergarments, jewelry, accessories, hair adornments, religious headgear, and so on. So let's go into each one individually a little bit. Socks. Socks may be worn. These are all okay. And even socks that are stockings nowadays, you can find that as well. It's nowhere written that there is a limit to the socks of size, of length. Let's put it that way. The costume, or singlet as it's called. Athletes must wear only one costume which complies with the following criteria. It must be one piece, must be colorless, must be of any color, may be of any color, must not cover the elbows, and must not cover the knees. And of course, must not be used for political, racial, or religious demonstration. And that means that a t-shirt with a short is not allowed instead of a singlet, as it is, if you can see here on the pictures. The costume may be loose fitting, as you can see here. The costume may be decorated or marked with, with the name of the athlete, maybe a nickname, a club name, the member federation, or the National Olympic Committee, if you wish, sponsors, advertising, national emblem, no problem, as long as it is not used for political, racial, or religious demonstration. The belt, if used, it may be worn on the outside of the costume only, never from the inside. And the maximum width so far is 12 centimeters. You have your measurement, so please always check. Bandages, sticking plasters, and tapes. What is bandages? It is non-adhesive wraps made of a variety of materials. Most common material used is gauze, medical crepe, neoprene, rubber, and leather. And they are all fine. And also the wristband, the old regulation was 10 centimeters. This does not exist anymore. Okay, the wristband can be as long as it doesn't go below the 5 centimeters of the elbows. Okay, so there is no restrictions here anymore when it comes to the wristband. And also, if there is any elastic band from the wristband that goes around the thumb, that is okay too, no problem. Rules for bandages: no limit for length, as I just told you. Bandages on hands may be attached to the wrists, and any bandage worn on the trunk must be worn under the costume. 10 centimeters of the elbow area. That means 5 centimeters above the elbow, 5 centimeters below the elbow. No bandage, no sticking plaster, no tape within this 10 centimeter area. What we can is bandage anywhere, but not for elbows. Double bandages, there as knee, under the knee sleeve. Custom socks covering bandages, there is no limit. It's all okay. What we cannot use reinforced knee caps, bandage attached to the barbell, and bandage within the 10 centimeter of the barbell area, of the elbow area. Bandages, sticking plasters, and tapes. What is sticking plasters? Small adhesive bandages, usually made of woven fabric, plastic, or latex rubber, with an absorbent cut. Sticking plasters are applied to cover the small wounds. What is tape? Made of either rigid cotton or rayon material and is known as athletic tape, medical tape, sport tape. It has different colors. Tape can an elastic therapeutic tape can be used, kinesio tape, whatever it's called. It's all okay. And in a warm-up, in a weigh-in, we might see during the weigh-in, I call it athletes patched up. You can see that, but it's all okay. No problem. As long as it is all under the costume. What we can, tape anywhere but not for elbows. Tapes on hands may be attached to wrists, may be worn under any piece of outfit, including other bandages, anywhere on the body except elbows. Can be also under the costume. Tape under socks. Kinesio tape under costume and bandage. The sticking plasters can be worn to protect the small wounds. However, what we cannot, tape produced in front of fingertips, only a same area as fingers, thumbs, tape attached to the barbell, and tape worn within 10 centimeters of the elbow area. And coming back to what you were asking before, the tape on the thumb. The tape on the thumb can be used as long as the tip of the fingers are visible. But of course, if the nail is huge, is long, no, it has to be the tip of the finger, not the tip of the nail only. Okay. Gloves and palm guards. Wearing fingerless gloves is allowed, like gymnastic palm guards, cycling gloves, and gloves may cover only the first knuckle of the fingers, as you can see on the picture. If sticking plaster or tape is worn on the fingers, there must be visible separation between the sticking plaster, tape, and the palm guard glove. Okay, it needs a visible separation with on the finger. A unitard. A unitard, only one unitard may be worn under the costume. The unitard is considered as the skin and must comply with the following criteria: one piece or two pieces, tight fitting, collarless, as shown in the picture. It may cover the elbows and knees, and it may be of any color but one color. One color. No pattern or design permitted. Here you have one color, and it can be 3/4. As you can see, the legging, it can be a 3/4 one. It doesn't have to be all the way down to the ankle of the foot. It has to be just one color. Here the actual photo, and that's all okay. It's a full body, tight-fitting unitard. It's collarless and no pattern design. Here, though, you can see that the upper unitard, as we call, is black, and it is in one color, and that is okay under the costume. But the legging used has a stripe, a white stripe on the side under the costume, and that is not okay. So that means it has a design, and that should not be. Here, that's the unitard, but they forgot to wear the costume. Here you have a separated unitard underneath. That means if wearing a unitard upper body top, it must be tight-fitting, collarless, no pattern design, one color. Unitard top without unitard bottom is possible, as it's shown here on the picture. Separated unitard means a unitard bottom leggings, as shown on the picture of the lifter who is in a deep snatch position. It's fine. It's in black with red knee sleeves separate. That's all okay. And you can also see the next one, a 3/4 one. That's fine too. Without unitard top is possible as well. And the picture could be a 3/4 one, or it could be still the knee sleeves of that lifter. T-shirt. Only one T-shirt may be worn under the costume. Must comply with the following criteria. Must be collarless, may not cover the elbows, may be of any color but one color. And also high neck is not the collar. This one here is okay. No. So the collar, what's said is not okay is when it is, you know, the winter type collars that are going all the way until to the covering the throat and the neck area well. So this little up thing here is not considered as a collar, and that is okay. Shorts. Only one pair of shorts may be worn under the costume, and the shorts must not be longer than the costume. Here you can see what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. And it must comply with the following criteria. Tight fitting, must not cover the knees, and may be of any color, but one color. And then we have here on the head, all these are allowed. They're all okay, whether that is a hat, a crown, or whatever you want. It's no problem. You can see the Asians, some Asian cultures are wearing their headdresses, and that's all okay. It's not a problem. Personal electronic devices in the warm-up area, no problem. But on the competition platform, whether that is the lifting, the presentation, or the medal ceremony, it is not okay. Unless it is a medical device and medical equipment needed, and we are aware of it. Yeah. Okay, we have come to the end of this presentation as well. Any questions? Of course, there is a lot of explanation, a lot of detailed thing. But what it says in general, it says that the costume, it can be any good costume. And in masters weightlifting, we have a separate rule where we don't allow high cut singlets. That means where the buttock is practically coming out, is shown very well, because we are not displaying any swimming or whatever. We want to keep weightlifting.
Denise, can I just clarify one thing? When you mentioned the gloves, the wristbands and the thumb strap, there's no limit on the length of the wristband, you said, and is the thumb strap allowed around the thumb?
No.
Of the wristband, the ones where there's a little loop around the thumb?
Yes, that one is yes. There's no restriction. You can have
before you had to have the loop off your thumb, but now you're allowed to.
Before, exactly. But that's now that it's yes, the wristband from whatever brand you have, which has this little elastic thing around. Yeah. You can keep that around your thumb. Yes.
Perfect. Yes. Thank you for that. Okay, thank you.
And any bandages, and I'm talking about bandages, not plasters, but bandages must be put under the clothing, under the costume. When it comes to plasters, if there's any blood on the chin, whatever, then of course plaster needs to be put there for the athlete, but also for the barbell, to make sure that the barbell does not get infected all the time. Yeah. Do you have any other questions regarding?
I also have a question from the bandages of your knees. Is it allowed that your bandages have a Velcro or not?
A what? What
Velcro,
you say?
that it can stick together. A Velcro. No.
Klettverschluss.
Well, yeah, you need to, as long as you can have any type of knee pad, or covering your knees, as long as they are not reinforced. So if you just need a clip or whatever to hold the bandage, of course it's allowed. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
I was wondering if I have like two parts, two what is this unitard under the singlet, and the bottom and the upper part is different color.
It's not a
Is that
problem.
okay?
If you
Okay.
have the unitard top in red and the legging, which is the other part of the in green or black, yes, as long as it is one color.
Yeah.
Okay, it has to be, the upper part has to be one color and the lower part has to be one color. It doesn't have to be the same color though.
Okay.
But it has no patterns. Okay, yeah.
May I have another question about pants under your uniform? Is it
Yes.
allowed that, by example, your pants is black, but in white letters, the name of the brand is on the side? Or do you see that as better?
Well, if you're talking about the unitard or you talk about the costume?
Not the unitard. No.
So the unitard has to be nothing on it. Nothing.
Okay, so also not the name of the brand.
Nothing. Yes. And we are asking then, in case you see that, you ask them to wear it the other way around, upside down.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can it be like taped with if your unitard is black and you put some black tape in it?
Yeah, of course, whatever it covers, so you
covers.
don't see you don't see the brand, you know. Yeah.
Sometimes as a TC last year in one of the international competitions, we went around with thick black markers and we just asked the coach to mark out cover up the
Yes.
the little
Yes.
marks or the
Yes,
Nike
yes.
swooshes or that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yes. Any other questions, either to the Chief Marshal or the TC outfit, or yesterday as a referee for the weigh-in? Anything that maybe came up after, whatever?
I was wondering, I think I have had, was it in Rovaniemi or when we were doing the waiting? So I think we had the lowest weights already in the competition card. So we didn't have to like count it. Is it possible?
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
that would be nice.
You're talking about, yes. Okay, look, but yeah, you have the minimum, you have the entry total. Okay,
Yeah.
you have the entry total registered on the athlete's card, but the declaration that the athlete gives must match. So you need to check, you do need to recalculate and make sure that that didn't go below.
Yeah. But I think we had already that 80% printed in the card.
Yes, but you don't know what the athlete will declare in the snatch.
No,
and
no,
the
yeah.
journey.
So
Does
that we
that
have
match? Yeah.
Yes.
You need. Does that match with what is on the athlete's card as entry total and the 80%? You need to calculate. You need to check that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay, it's quiet. Well, then I would say ready for the Saturday then. And to let you know, tomorrow we have the last one. So if you want to join me again for the very last thing, we have tomorrow the competition speaker, the timekeeper, and we have the jury president and jury members. That will be our last one. Again, the same day, the same hour. And I hope to have you with me again. And again, with the recording, As I said already yesterday, it will all be published and you will all receive this information. If there's anybody who was not with us yesterday, which I think you all have been here, please leave your email address in the chat now so that we have your contact and we are able to send you all the information and to keep contact with you. And then I say, have a lovely Saturday and hopefully see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place, and enjoy your day. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Denise.
Bye.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.